Hey man, what's going on, y'all? It's the Digital Dope Man, Cool Water from ishiphopdead.com and the digitaldopeman.com. I'm in a firestorm debate on Facebook with several individuals. Shout out to all y'all that know who you is. I'm gonna leave your name anonymous. About the topic that I put up was, why do black folks get offended if you don't vote Democrat? And the reasoning for that is because I seen an article that came across my desk that read, let's see here if I can find that, and I might not be able to find it. The young black millennial, the young black Americans backing Trump. So, there's some black folks out there that like Trump, So I pose that question because I also know that history side of it, where we were coerced into being Democrats. In the initial early onslaught, we weren't Democrats, we were Republicans. But through terrorism and lynchings and all this other stuff, we got kicked out of Congress. And then the slaveholders, after the Civil War and the fight with the Union Army, put us in a bad predicament. So the question that like I said, that I posed was, why do black folks get offended if you don't vote Democrat? So it's a number of individuals, one in particular, because the conversation got turned around, and it got turned around like all conversations that deal with black folks. It got turned into an emotional firestorm because nobody comes with facts. Everybody comes with their emotions. So John Shaw, which is this white guy who worked at the record pool that I know from some years back out of Memphis, mentioned something about that's like the Jews voting for Hitler. And I'm like, well, that's an oxymoron because, let me see if I can, his exact words, I want to make sure I quote him accurately. It says, Jews voting for Nazis doesn't make a lot of sense if you understand what I'm saying. And my response was, this is an oxymoron. Black folks don't even know why they vote Democrat. Like, we vote Democrat and been voting Democrat because this is like a historical feature for us. But the majority of the population does not know why they vote Democrat. They don't even have a historical background on it. So, as public policy, Jim Crow, black codes, certain things that went on in the civil rights, we was pushed into being Democratic. And then you had individuals in public office that was pushing us to vote Democrat to support certain politicians who wanted to garner the black vote. But it goes deeper than that. I'm not going to get too deep into that aspect. You got to do research on it because I'm still learning. But I got enough to know. But the real issue is we got an election coming up. The election is with Stacey Abrams, first black female governor, could possibly be the first black female governor, and Brian Kemp, the Secretary of State for Georgia. So this is a major milestone for folks in the southern states and for so-called African Americans across the country. Now, Atlanta already has a black mayor. That ain't nothing new. They got a black female mayor. They've had several. They've had several black mayors. Kasim Reed, Keisha Lance Bottoms is our current mayor. We had another female mayor, and I can't think of her name off the top of my head because I know it. We had Bill Campbell. There's been black mayors in D.C. There's been black mayors in L.A. You know, it's not nothing new. That's not a new issue. But to have a black female governor is supposed to be a milestone. So for me, I'm saying that's cool. But again, you run into the polls without the understanding of most of these individuals that are in public office. Like Keisha Lance Bottoms is really trying to make some things happen. But when you working against a corporation, you really don't have no power because they are the people that dictate what public policy comes out because they paying a politician. So Keisha may look good for a few years, couple of years. I think it's a 4-year term. And then you may see a tide in some of the stuff that she do, or she may try to hold steadfast. But at the end of the day, all politicians is bought and paid for. Kasim Reed worked hand in hand with corporate structure. And some of it benefits the public at large, like the Beltline and some of the money that he put in, you know, to the city to get certain things done. I don't know all of his dealings, but I do know that, you know, everybody benefits from a prettier, better, more attractive city and possibly a better infrastructure as far as jobs that go across the board that you all might be able to apply for. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, ain't nobody really working on behalf of black folks in its entirety because why? Gentrification is in effect. Privatization is in effect. Rental rates are going up across the country. Now, you know, people say, well, you can become a real estate agent too. Yeah, you can become a real estate agent too. You can go out here and buy this property too. But on a mass scale, that don't help the masses of black folks out here who unemployment rate is triple what they keep telling you on the news. Trump keeps saying black unemployment rate is down. Well, if that's the case, then we should see an influx of wealth start or influx of higher incomes start to introduce themselves into some black communities. And you would notice it because we're going to go out and buy the trinkets. We're going to go out and buy the house. We're going to go out and buy the car. We're going to go out and get the kids' college education fund together. You know, we do the life insurance. We do this. We do that. So at the end of the day, it's really a farce because they're not basing that off. And they're not basing it off that structural unemployment. They're not basing it off the fact that there's people that stop looking for jobs. That's probably out here homeless. You know what I'm saying? Or they laying on somebody's couch and they ain't even looking for work. They trying to draw a check. They trying to get welfare, something to that effect. So when I look at all these people on my post, man, who talk emotional, nobody really provides a couple of facts. I'll give Jennifer her credit. She provided facts as it related to something that her and this other brother went at it. And then this other guy, you know, he wanted to throw a couple of facts in and try to disrespect and talk slick in the mouth. Tyler, if I can't believe, I think that's his name. Tyler came talking slick in the mouth. Now, again, the conversation was twisted and turned into an emotional debate based off why you ain't running to the polls to do this. First of all, I never said I wasn't going to vote. That's number one. Secondly, I know more about the backstory on politics than most people on this page or even most people that want to care to vote, care to know. You see what I'm saying? So if I ask any person on this page, you know, Stacey Abrams, she graduated from Yale and she's part of the CFR. And I said, well, what's the CFR? They're not going to be able to tell you what the CFR is. Obama was part of the CFR. Michelle's part of the CFR. Stacey's part of the CFR. And all these organizations, which is the Council on Foreign Relations, is related to white interests, white wealth, white power. White supremacy, white control. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's not based off of black folks' needs, conditions, concerns that will help improve and empower us. It's based off of multiculturalism that's going to keep white folks in power. So when you keep talking about what these people going to do, these people ain't doing for you. Obama didn't do nothing for black folks. He tried to do one thing in particular from the research, and that was pass the Indigenous Rights Acts for Native blacks in America. But because we don't know nothing about the Indigenous Rights Act, we didn't go claim that. We don't claim that. Somebody else claiming that. He also gave billions of dollars to the Native Americans, the mulatto Indian, not the native black Indians that they called us. So they got casinos, radio stations, media, newspaper, whatever else they got, free education. They got that. We were supposed to get that based off the fact that when we sued and we also was were enslaved by the Indians. They held us in servitude too. When the government made the deal with the Indians, they was also supposed to put us in the mix. We getting free land, getting, the stipend and the money that was coming. We supposed to be going to school for free. We supposed to have rights and privileges and opportunities and stuff. So Obama didn't come help us. He helped everybody else. He helped the gay community. He helped the Native Americans. He helped other white immigrants. He did everything else to make sure that they were going to be in power. You feel me? But he's part of the CFR too. CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, is owned by the Rockefeller family. They started that. That's power and control. These people ain't working on your behalf. Everybody keep thinking that these politicians is out here working to improve the quality of life that includes black Americans, and that's not the case. Bill Clinton passed the most hinderous law in America, and that was the 3 strikes law, and it sent a lot of black males to prison. He was Democrat. A lot of brothers went straight to prison for life over some small grams of crack. I mean, like, it could have been small grams of marijuana, could have been small grams of crack or whatever. And it could have been, they say 3 strikes, but it could have been second and third offenses that could have probably been thrown out. Them folks is in jail, but they need you in prison because why? The corporations make money. They paying you 13 cents a day. They ain't finna let you. They don't need you out here being productive. So they put them cats in jail. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, I'm not a fan of either party. Ronald Reagan, the war on drugs. He went out and was issuing the Nixon. He tried to reestablish the Nixon movement. War on drugs, war on poverty. Okay, well, the war on drugs got a lot. That's where the crack came in back in the 80s and whatnot. It sent a lot of folks to jail. A lot of folks died behind that. So people get off not understanding the Democrats, the old Southern Democrats, which they was called the Dixiecrats, were the slave holders. They had us in servitude. And then some of them people broke away and they started the Republican Party. But then those Republicans also became part of the what we would know today as a conservative, which is the red states, which is the ones that's still enslaved. So it's like, even though you got a Democrat over here and you got a Republican over here, it doesn't really make any more sense because neither one truly works on your behalf. And then you got the liberal who's trying to be in the middle and kind of, as it was said, comfort you while the boat is sinking and put a pillow under your head because they still for the same old shit, but they just want to make it easy on you while you getting fucked in the ass. So black folks need to do what? Get a block. Vote as a block. If we vote as a block, we got power. See, we don't have no economic power. We don't have no infrastructure. We don't own no industries. Silicon Valley, down there killing them. Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that Silicon Valley stuff. That's top-notch tech stuff. We don't have no industries, agriculture. The black farmers, they've been fighting for years trying to get some money for the government. They've been neutralized. I mean, it goes on and on, man. I mean, we could sit here all day. We don't own and control anything. So you keep voting for people who not helping you get no control and no power. Because why? Stacey Abrams' platform is based off multiculturalism for everybody. She's a black woman who's for every single person on the planet. And when you, for everybody, it's like cream in coffee. It's weak. You got to be strong black coffee that's specific to the Pacific niche. Now, if Stacey Abrams was playing the game like she's supposed to, then it'd be quid pro quo. which is something for something, which is we're going to back you, Stacey. Black folks, I'm speaking about, back you with the intention of you bringing us something in return. Here's what we need, and here's what we going to give. We're going to deliver X amount of votes. You're going to come and bring us this, and this. And in return, we're going to ensure that you stay in office for the next 4 or 5 years. But see, the real issue is because of the population of the census population, and black folks being 12 to 13% of the minorities, 12 to 13% of the population, which they consider us the minority. We don't have no power. You got 9 other ethnicities out here outvoting you: Asians, Hispanics, Arabs, Pakistanis, Jews, Russians, Germans, Pacific Islanders, East Indians. I mean, you got a whole group of other people. So your vote is neutralized when you go to the polls because you don't have enough population, because they stunted your ability to bring people into the country that look like you a long time ago. Ain't no more Haitians getting up in here. They let a little Nigerian or two come through every now and then. Be a couple folks from Africa come through every now and then. You feel me? But the majority of the immigrants coming in, they get lumped in and clumped in as white. So white folks, in addition to the extended family of the Hispanic, Latino, Asian, Japanese, Chinese, whatever you want to call them, Jews, Germans, Russians, Cubans, Polish, Pakistanians, East Indians, all them folks classify as white, but they classify as a majority population, which outvotes black people. So you can't walk to the polls and actually gain some real strength because you don't have any economic base, no economic power to be able to improve your situation. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not emotional. It's just data and facts. It's no vote. You can vote Democrat all you want to. It don't make no difference. You can vote Republican all you want to. It don't make no difference who you vote for. They need your vote per se because they might be 12%, 5%, 6 or 7, 8% short. But you can't demand nothing from somebody because you don't have no muscle. That's all. So people get emotional about some young millennials voting Republican is totally ludicrous to me. You can't be mad at them folks because they want to back that man. If they want to back that man, that's their business. That's their business. You getting mad because Kanye in the White House. Well, at least he getting up in there. Because wasn't none of you niggas running up there to go holler at Obama. Y'all wasn't expressing y'all needs and concerns when he was in office. You didn't get emotional and try to get prison reform from him. I ain't seen nothing there, nigga, in the White House. Kanye in there, y'all throwing a fit. Yeah, Kanye rambling, he talking. Yeah, but he making some valid points. The 13th and 14th Amendment is keeping black folks enslaved, chattel property slavery, especially if you end up in the prison system. Corporations using you like a slave. They paying you 13 cents and they making billions. So, I'm not going to be long-winded, man, because again, you know what I'm saying? I'm amazed at how emotional. And then the people that's real philosophical, real analytical, real critical, they try to come with all this data and statistics. But then when you ask them, okay, well, what's the solution? Don't nobody know. See? You ain't did that type of research. What's the solution? Well, I don't know. I just know we need to stick together and vote. See, that's all you can say because you ain't got enough backing in your conversation to really understand that power is in numbers and the numbers have to be concentrated in one direction, not scattered all across the board. Not in a cup of creamed coffee where you vote next to the Latina and the Mexican and the Hispanic and the Indian and the European or whatever. None of that. So in order for black folks to really mass real true power, yeah, we might need to be independent. Yeah, we might need to vote as a bloc. Yeah, we might need to make some actual demands for some of these politicians who in the black caucus who is actually in a position to demand some shit from the politician that's running. See, ain't nobody demanding nothing from Stacey Abrams. They voting for her on popularity. It's a black woman. Oh man, I can't wait. Yeah, we need that. Okay, well, what's she gonna do for you? Her values are aligned with white America. She is a Yale graduate. Her ideology is based off of white America. Okay? She is a member of the Council of Foreign Relations, which none of y'all Negroes have went and looked at. Her value system is based off white America, David Rockefeller, all of them boys, the wealth benefactors of the nation, the top 1%. See, Trump is part of the 1%. Yeah, Trump is part of the 1%. He's putting white people back in power through his public policies, right? And then you want the Democrat to come do something, but the Democrat ain't working on behalf of you either. Because they trying to put wealth and power in the hands of those 1%ers who are considered Democrats, which AKA in past histories used to be the slaveholders. So I'm going to end this. You know what I mean? Again, I ain't no politician. I just put up a topic and it got people itching, you know, because it's my father, my mama died, my granddaddy died for the right to vote. I don't know. You know, I never heard that from my grandmother. I never heard it from anybody else. I mean, you know, we'll take that. That some people actually died for the right to vote. I know that there were people restricted for voting. I know people were restricted from voting. They weren't allowed to come into the polls. But I don't remember seeing people getting lynched and hung and strung and put on trees because they tried to vote. But again, I could be wrong. My research ain't took me that far. My research has taken me to the understanding of what King really said when he said we going to Washington to get our check. You know, because they gave these white farmers land grants. We taught them how to farm, but they got the land grants. They the ones that started land grant colleges. They the ones that got the economic stimulus from the government while everybody else was out here in the Poor People's Campaign trying to get $1 just to be able to provide a living in the 60s for their family. But the white immigrant was coming in he was getting paid billions of dollars. Billions of pieces of land was passed on from George Washington's time all the way up. All you had to do was come and claim your stake. But guess what? They didn't let the African American so-called claim his stake. Why? Because he was in servitude. The land that we did have, they got it from us. They passed laws to get us off of it. Eminent domain. They took the land. They came, they stole. You know, they killed. They did whatever they needed to do to ensure that we wasn't going to have no power. So when you look at these public policies, these laws and things that they put in place, and then these laws and things in place are still in place. They still on the books. They ain't been ratified. And then you see these new young black politicians coming in who don't necessarily may have the historical background or the history on you know, the slavery or what have you. And then they're working in the interest of everybody. It only puts you in a disadvantage as an African American because you ain't getting no benefits. You're not going to get any benefits. The benefits is across the board. So I'm going to leave that right there, man. I'm get out, man. I'm going to go on about my business. Hey, man, it's Cool Water, the Digital Dope Man. You check me out at the blog, ishiphopdead.com, where we talk about them controversial topics. You know, please like, share, and subscribe and tell your friends. You can also look for me at thedigitaldopeman.com. That's, we got that site up now. It's running, but I got some kinks I got to work out before it really be full throttle, but we got it up. It's built. And still got to put the lecture in your face called Who Killed the Black Entrepreneur, the African-American Entrepreneur's Holocaust. You know, because these are the type of topics we're going to have to deal with. We're going to have to deal with the real. You feel me? Because y'all want to fix shit. But you got to be willing to work. You can't come emotional because emotions don't solve nothing. See, so to all the people out here that get in their feelings, I'm not going to be your guy. See? Because that ain't going to fix nothing. You can be emotional all day. You know, I like ice cream. I like Ben & Jerry's cherry ice cream. I get emotional about that. But when it comes to having to make the ice cream, I got to do the work. I got to put in the right amount of sugar, the right amount of ice cream, the right amount of nuts, cherries, whatever. Hey, man, I'm out. It's cool water, man. Holler back at me. Peace.